Hello, we are back for another episode of Manny Monday, right? I had to get Harito, man. I had to bring this out because we are officially at 50 subscribers. I can't express how much this means to me. To think that I started 3 months ago with nothing, and now we amassed to 50 subscribers. And the latest two that subscribed to me didn't even know me, you know. And I think that's more impactful, just like saying that other people can see what I'm doing. They see that I'm going the path I'm going around, and they're just get inspired by it, and they're just like, you know what, I want to invest in that man. You know, like I see what he's doing. He's just asking for a subscription. Like you know what, I'm gonna subscribe. And to that, I say cheers. For those who don't know, Harito is a Mexican soda, so don't get on my ass. But yeah, Manny Monday's opportunity for me to talk to my family, friends, inform them of moment epiphanies that I had during the week and just what's been going on, right? I usually post a list on my Instagram. It should be right below. You can follow me at Manny Killmonger, the same as for my TikTok. And of course, on Mondays, I post a Manny Monday talking about those topics, right? But without further ado, let's get right down to work. First order of topics is the Hills job is to get canceled, right? So I'm referencing an interview with Cody Rhodes, and he talks about heels. Heels of the past. When you think about your boogeyman, you think about your Big Show, you think about your Undertaker. They had a sense of I don't know how to say the word. They had a sense of KF in the sense that they were very true to their character, and they were very much hated by the audience. They were booed, ran out of the building, people would throw shit at them and everything. And then the baby faces, or like the face of the company, were people that people would cheer for and they rallied behind. So if you take, for example, John Cena and the Big Show, the example, right? I'm gonna bring this example because it's the one that stands out to me. And Big Show was hated at the time because he was beefing with John Cena, and he did some things that just traumatized me. So there was one pay-per-view, he took John Cena to about to chokeslam him, and he put him through a spotlight, right? And I was like, no, John. Oh man! And then like the following day, he got up on stage, John Cena, and Big Show was in the ring, and he stood very tall. I'm like, that's my nigga, John. He didn't have to do him like that, you know. I know it's wrestling, but at the time it was very emotional for me, and like everybody hated the Big Show. But going back to Cody Rhodes, you know, not trying to get too lost in the sauce. He said heels have to be okay with being canceled nowadays, right? Yes, we sort of miss that a little bit, right? Because we think about Roman Reigns and his journey with the Bloodline saga, and he's getting booed, but now also people are throwing up the ones and people are celebrating him. But it wasn't always that way, right? When he started off doing his promos and shit, people just didn't like him. And I guess to this day, people don't like him, right? They prefer Cody Rhodes. And I actually admit, I'm a Cody Rhodes type of guy. But it made me think about is what's scenarios in life where we're okay with being the villain. Okay being the villain in the sense where I'm recognizing that there's something that's true to my core and my core values, and I don't mind if people don't view me in a positive light because of that, right? That's not saying go out there and do some hating shit, right? But it's being true to yourself and your individuality. And if you can look in the mirror at the end of the day and be like, hey, I'm being true to myself, then I'm fine with that, right? Because I know me, I don't do anything, not everything that people identify with, right? Just me being here, existing in this point in time, right? Being black, my hair like this, my tattoos, the way I carry myself, the way that I walk, the way I occasionally do the goth aesthetic and paint my nails, stuff like that. People don't agree with that. Yes, those are micro things, macro things, you know, they are on a scale of spectrum or whatnot, but people don't necessarily have to agree with it. And I'm okay with being the villain. I'm okay with being the bad guy. Even when it comes to establishing boundaries with people, that's another perspective on it, right? And sometimes you gotta be the bad guy, and sometimes you gotta be okay with being that, you know? Being the heel that's okay with being canceled. Because even when you're getting boos, you know you're doing something right because you're getting reaction. Please don't take that piece of advice and be toxic. Oh man, he's like, man, he's just, I'd be toxic. Like, no, the fuck I didn't. Okay, next order of business is they want to see you struggle a little bit, right? My mom told me this a little bit earlier when I was expressing me in my YouTube channel and me upgrowing and trying to build a channel, right? And that it was very hard. Like, I do promotions a lot for my channel, you know? Like, I mean, I think that's what social media is for. It's supposed to be to promote the content, to get it out there. But I wish it was like more engaging and stuff like that. But I know that there would be a time where I do succeed. I mean, I'm succeeding now, it's slowly growing, but I mean like succeed, because it's going to be 100, 500, then 1,000 subscribers. And then people will always come out the woodworks. Like, they were hiding the whole time. Like, the big bad came to town. The witch came to town, and everybody's hiding. But once she's gone, people pop out, you know? People don't know nothing about the witch. Debo on the block is hot. But once Debo leave, I untuck my chain, and people are the same way. They that fucking chain. They hide. They hide when you're on the come up, when you're doing things. You're like, hey, support, show out, do this, da 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 da. But when Debo leaves, when I'm finally there, I was helping him out the whole time. No, the fuck you weren't. That's one of the main reasons why I left the frat that I was at the time. Because I hate the idea of someone, maybe it's in my own head, I don't give a fuck, but I hate the idea of someone taking any type of credit for my successes. Like, no, I did that. I put in the work and stuff like that. But don't take credit for the work that me and the people close to me have put in. You know what I mean by that? Is that fair enough? If you didn't fuck with me, didn't help at all when I was going through some shit, you're not invited to the celebration. You're not. Don't even ask. Where's your invite? It didn't get lost. It was never sent, right? But I'm also into realizing the power of asking, right? So again, people look from afar and don't want to help you and stuff like that. But I'm making new friends. But then also the kindness of strangers, because again, with those two people, didn't even know me till the day prior. But then they were willing to help me out and be able, like, you know what? I want to help him. I want to promote. I see what he's doing, and I appreciate it, and I want to support him, right? The last order of business, last but not least, but it's like, making friends is hard. But I think it's like the duality of making friends, but then also dating, because I'm also like on the dating apps, right? It's so easy to initiate and begin a conversation, whether you're online, in real life and stuff like that, but how often are you able to retain that conversation or to keep the conversation going, right? And it's very easy, and I think like people are very guilty of this, is like, when you tell people that you're having difficulty with anything in life, their immediate reaction is just give a suggestions, like, oh, maybe you're not doing this, maybe you're not doing that. I get it's very human, but then sometimes just listen, hear the person out. So when I talk about like the disparity between like me communicating, I feel like there has to be a certain bug of ghosting, not replying, because it's not just on like the dating front, but I'm also seeing within friends. But I'm also giving myself grace, because I'm understanding that I'm new to these people. They have no reason to be invested, right? But I want to form meaningful relationships, right? So I am thankful for the people that are in my life. Shout out to one friend that I made recently, and I do hope that it continues to grow. Not that I'm so caught up on quantity, right? I know quality over quantity, but I don't want to limit myself to, you know, like 2 and no more 3, and that's all that's going to heaven. And like it gets very in depth with the numbers, but I know there's more to me than that, and I want to grow my social network. I want to like literally grow my social network, not limited to like social media, but actually with people. And I'm very hopeful for the future, right? But it also bugs me that you have certain people that just don't want to go anywhere. So like you have friends that you have and communicate online, but it doesn't transition to offline, and they never want to go any fucking where. If you plan something, they just don't want to do anything. If that you, I throw a soda at you, and you should duck next time. But it inspires me to find friends that actually want to do different things, right? Actually want to go somewhere, actually want to be a part and do different things, and not just want to be a part of that celebration. I think like the whole piece or theme, if you take nothing away from this, right? Because, like, yes, there's a list of topics I talk about and there's different array of things, but they all center around being the villain, right? Saying different things and being okay with it, right? But you don't necessarily have to be a dick about it, right? I know there's like a certain undertone with me just saying this and just speaking in it how it is and stuff like that. But it's just me just being real about like the circumstances and thing, and life is just hard. I'm going through a part of maturing, a part of development. I'm thankful for what I have right now, but I'm also seeing where I'm going. And yeah, hopefully you're part of that journey. But without further ado, comment, like, subscribe, leave a comment below if you have any, right? But I also want to ask you to tell me how your day was. Compliment the man in your life, right? People gonna be like, no, compliment the man in your life, because I think they really go very long without receiving a compliment at all. I asked the man in my life recently, when's the last time that you received your flowers, right? They thought I meant it in a literal sense, right? But even if you take literal or metaphorical, men don't get their flowers enough, right? And you'd be surprised. I think if you compliment a man today, he'll remember that for the rest of your life, right? Apologies to my future girlfriend, wife, fiance that sees this, but like, yeah, I remember the compliments I received. Especially like one, this girl told me, so I was even in the gym one time. I was, I think, a freshman or sophomore in college, and she told me, like, don't have your head down. Lift your head up, king, right? Sticks to me to this day. Not take a while, to this day. I remember that compliment, and it keeps reminding me, like, every time I'm looking down a little bit, raise my head, look up. I have a lot to look forward to, right? So compliment the man in your life, especially since we're on a little bit post Father's Day, but not too far removed, right? Acknowledge the men in your life, respect them. Of course respect them, but like, give them a compliment. It wouldn't hurt you, right? But without further ado, that's all I have. Comment, like, subscribe, and again, Jarritos are on me.